Your border czar, Tom Homan, first of all, mucho bueno upgrade over the last border czar, Kamala Harris. Tom Homan has no more F's to give. He confronted the media about everything having to do with our border security issues right now and our immigration policies. And let's just let the border czar take it from here.
Does the administration expect that those migrants that have been sent to that prison in El Salvador will remain there?
You mean the terrorists that were removed?
Will they remain in that prison in El Salvador for the rest of their lives?
This administration will obey court orders, unlike the last administration. But if you ask me if I'm in favor of returning terrorists to the United States that are gang members that have murdered and raped young women in this country, no, I'm not in favor of that at all.
Mr. Homan, the headline for border apprehensions by 95% since last March. Can you describe maybe some of the success behind these numbers?
Because I worked for the greatest president of my lifetime, Donald Trump. Trump 45 is successful, unprecedented. And we're even doing better this time. President Trump, I give him all the credit because he put executive actions in place day one. He re-implemented the policies that we proved were effective. Right now, as we speak today, because of President Trump, the men and women of ICE and the men and women of the Border Patrol who stand on that line every day, today we have the most secure border in the history of this nation. No one can argue it. The data's clear on that. I started in 1984. I've never seen the numbers this low. So again, the most secure border in the history of this nation, President Trump was able to do that in a matter of weeks, something that Biden administration didn't do in 4 years. Either wouldn't or couldn't, but we proved it didn't need legislation, didn't need all this other stuff that the last administration talked about. We needed a strong president who took America first and cared about American safety and securing that border. Securing the border at this level means we have a lot stronger national security because of the border.
Mr. Herman, the deadline. There are laws on the books that make it a criminal offense to shield or harbor illegal immigrants, like the sanctuary states that you have been doing. Do you think they should be prosecuted, the post said law, possibly put in prison?
Now look at look on his face on that question. So I got a couple of things I want to jump in here on. First of all, on the first question, I love how Homan, language is so important, and the way you ask a question is so important. That first question was, the migrants who have been sent down to the prison in El Salvador, are we going to do anything to take them back, or are we just going to leave them there? And Homan corrected the reporter and said, "I'm sorry, do you mean the terrorists? You mean the terrorists that we sent out?" Because that's the language that needs to be at migrants. Migrant makes it sound like they've come here because they want to pick strawberries and work on the farm. They're just migrants. Actually, it's even worse than that. Migrant makes it sound like there's like, how animals migrate. I mean, listen, this is what happened. Birds fly south for the winter and then they come back. They just migrate. It's just instinctive. It's in their DNA. That's what they do. It's like so ridiculous and so demeaning of these human beings, these individuals. It sort of takes their decision-making power away from them. Like they have no abilities to actually decide, yeah, we're going to break the law and we're going to go into that country illegally. Oh, no, it's not my fault. I'm just a migrant. I have no choice. So Homan says, understand, everyone who was sent down there is either a member of MS-13, one or two of them, but the majority of them were Tren de Aragua. This is this Venezuelan gang that the president has determined is a terrorist organization. So they have been rounded up. They have been identified as members of this terrorist organization. They've been identified as being in the country illegally, and they've been sent out to a prison. So when Homan is asked, well, how long are they going to be out there? He says, wait, I'm sorry, you mean the terrorists? So you want us to take these terrorists who we've determined are terrorists and we sent them out of here, you want us to bring them back here because what? We have a death wish? Because we have a suicide pact? Because as a nation, we want to go out of our way to get a terrorist and say, hey, come back to America. We want you here because you're a terrorist. That's what we want? So I love that he did that. But now this question that you just heard, if the Trump administration had not changed the makeup of the press pool and changed who has hard passes to cover this White House and cover the presidency. And I don't know who the reporter was that asked that question, but I assure you it wasn't anyone from any of the major networks or from the major newspapers, because the question was, it's against the law to harbor an illegal alien in this country. So especially criminal illegal aliens. So those cities and jurisdictions that have sanctuary policies, do you think that they should be convicted under that law? And look at his face. Look at his face because he's so happy he got that question. And understand how these sanctuary policies work. You're in the country illegally, and you're given aid and comfort and shelter, you're already breaking the law by doing that. Okay, number one. Number two, if you work for a city government, if you are a mayor or if you're a governor and you've instructed your police departments to not cooperate with ICE when there's a detaining order to deport one of the people that you have apprehended for breaking the law, you're doing way more than just giving safe harbor and shelter to an illegal immigrant who's broken our border policies. You're now actually going much further and giving aid, shelter, comfort, and refuge, sanctuary, if I can use that word, to someone who has then further broken American laws. I mean, beyond just our border security. You know, these are people who have either shoplifted or, you know, sexual predators or, you know, assault and battery, grand theft auto, whatever. So look at Homan's face as this has been teed up for him. And now let's let him go.
Absolutely. And hold tight on that one, because it's coming. It's coming. I've been clearing that since day one. The sanctuary city can sit by and watch their communities get ravaged by illegal aliens. They can watch young women get raped and murdered. Trump administration not going to stand for that. So look, they can stand by and watch. And the Trump administration will secure their communities. The Trump administration will drive down illegal and crime in this country. If they don't do it, we'll do it for them. But they can't. They can sit aside and watch, but they can't cross that line. When they cross the line of harboring concealing, that's a felony. And we got Pam Bondi now who won't hesitate to take action. When they can't impede in our enforcement efforts to make this country safe again, that's a felony. So President Trump's got his cabinet in place now. We got a strong AG. We got a strong Secretary of Homeland Security. We got a great group here. We got, Steve Miller, one of the most brilliant men I ever worked with when it comes to border security and internal enforcement. You're going to see a lot of things happen next few months that people should expect. Many don't, but watch what comes in their future.
Mr. Homan, you got Democrats that are headed down to El Salvador. What's your message to them?
They're not going to change anything. We remove terrorists from this country. They're where they should be, and they want to go knock it up. What you all be doing, you all be in sanctuary cities in this country, taking action against the Maryland father, the Maryland illegal alien, not a father. Maryland illegal alien was arrested in the country illegally, arrested for murder, and released to the public. And it took ICE to go find them. If the Democrats will spend some time in Boston and in Los Angeles and Portland and Maryland, and go to these sanctuary cities. I don't care what party you're affiliated with, Republican, Democrat, Independent. We all should want secure communities. We all should want public safety to be number one on their agenda. I can't believe there's any Democrat politician who does not want public safety threats out of the community. Their number one responsibility is protection of the communities. But they'd rather go to El Salvador than fix the problem we just talked about in Maryland, fix the problem of Boston, fix the problem that just happened in Washington State. 2 illegal aliens tortured a woman, left her for dead by drilling on her to give her her money, access to ATM stuff. But they're going to go to El Salvador. Makes zero sense, and that just shows how out of touch of reality the Democratic Party is.
That is absolutely freaking brilliant and worthy of the mic drop emoji. It's great. It's absolutely great. Two quick takeaways, and we'll end it there. First of all, that video could be the greatest ad for Claritin I have ever seen. Kevin, were your allergies here? The Washington, D.C. area allergies this time of year are insane. With all of that crap flying out of the air, were you not? My eyes were watering just watching it. Are you with me?
It's Quinn, but yeah, allergies horrible for Kevin.
Thank you, Quinn. Kevin is so overcome by his allergies that he had to leave the booth.
He needed a minute.
All right, understood. That's number one. Bad allergies with all that crap flying around in the air. Thank you, Quinn, for jumping in and not leaving me hanging. Number two, during the Biden administration, and our show was on the air for the final year of the Biden presidency, and it often felt like we had to have a news cycle that ended up being a daily, relentless, horrific, depressing reminder of the repercussions of an election. When an election goes a certain way, the circumstances, the consequences of that election were obvious every single day during the Biden administration. And it was frankly depressing. It was enraging. It was awful. But we kept saying, stay hopeful, stay positive. We have an election coming up. We're moving forward. We're going to get together. We're going to keep our eye on a prize. We're going to focus because we still have a right in this country to change these things. We got to get back. Right? Do you remember last year when that was the message every single day? Because it was hard sometimes, but we kept focused and we kept positive and we were happy warriors and we moved through that election and look what happened. That video right there, Tom Homan, your borders are, considering Kamala Harris was our last borders are. Tom Homan right there is today's daily reminder on the opposite side of that coin. Yeah, elections matter, all right. Elections have consequences, all right. And finally, we are actually reaping the benefit of an election going our way. That right there is the consequence of this last election. And you made that happen. You should feel good about yourself.